value that they bring is the fact that these women who are looking for a man to take charge, they're taking charge. However, these men are not committing to any of them.
And actually,
They're nomads.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I read something that like men and women, when they have intercourse, they release different chemicals.
Yeah.
So women, when they have intercourse, they release oxytocin.
Mm-hmm.
Men, when they have intercourse, they release testosterone. But when they love the person, they release oxytocin.
Wow.
So this is why, like, for example, like you have a female that, you know, if they have sex with one guy for a while, they fall in love with them. Like it's almost built in. If they have sex like a number of times, they really fall because they release oxytocin with that same person over time. Versus a guy can have sex multiple times with the girl, a female,
walk away.
but if he doesn't actually love them, he's fine.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where, like, I think this is highlighted enough, like the damage of, you know, sleeping around really has on both parties, but especially like females. Like they don't realize, like, you have to become like, it's not even
you become actually emotionally, mentally bonded to the person.
Yeah, and so if you're just like, you know, bonding with a man,
dependency even.
Yeah, when you're
oxytocin, I think of like a suckling child and the mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because the child is like taking breast milk, like there's oxytocin in that touch. Like, you know, it's like literally a dependency.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, like, it makes sense. The alpha male type guys, you know, the girls, like, they fall in love with those type guys and they'll do whatever for them.
Yeah.
And then the alpha male's like, I don't love you, but because he gets that release of testosterone, so he just keeps doing what he's doing. And I think that just leads to a vicious cycle of like, it's like the same thing with money. Of like, you know, 10% of the population of guys are getting 80% of the chicks.
Facts.
Versus 10% of the population has 80% of the money.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing. It's like it's just a hierarchy. They have all the
100%.
and I think it's awful, but it's you know,
it's a reality of life. Like, we can't, and you know that. I think when you consider human beings, they're always going to act in the interest of themselves, and that's the acting. Like, they would be acting weird if they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
If they like someone who behaves like how I did would be acting weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're basically denying yourself. Not basically, you are denying yourself, and you're choosing to live a life of discipline when you can just live a life of gluttony, like just going after fleeting pleasures and doing whatever you want. But you know, it really does take like discipline in life to really I think personally to really enjoy life. You know, because you do the things that you don't want, or the things that are the hard action items, and then you're able to do the things that no one can do
to build a real, like, for example, like this, you take just the Rogan argument, for example, like, you know, you could, like, you know, could be sleeping around with a bunch of girls, there could be, or you could deny yourself, deny even the crazy era that we live in is that deny even girls coming on to you, and then be like, hey, I want to build something real with one person. And it's going to be hard, but it's going to be more fulfilling than just, you know, the quick release, the quick,
100%.
you know, that like hit of like dopamine, whatever is that drug of like, oh, I just love that chick, or I just got that chick, like that quick hit, versus like, no, I'm going to deny it, which is harder in the short term to build something real here in the long term.
In the long term, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah,
very much. So.
I think
it's just hard to tell now because you know you're young, like you know.
But everything in life is like that, you know.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure a lot of my friends were perplexed I got married at 24, but it's like I'm so glad I did, because like it really allowed me, like, gaining the responsibilities of my daughter, my son, and my wife. Like, it's really like put me down a path that, like, you know, it's just so fulfilling. And I'm in spaces that like I was talking to a client on Tuesday, and she was perplexed that I was 28 years old. She was like, there was a guy that worked at his bank that she worked with really well. He had been trying to get that spot for 10 years. So I haven't even been working that long. Do you understand? And he was excellent, right? But she was just like, you're like, dude, like, you're like here. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like very interesting, because I even look at my 6-year career and I'm like, I didn't even apply myself like to the measure in which I know that I could. Because it's like the whole weight loss thing, right? So in October, I was working out all the time, but I wasn't doing everything I needed to do to get to where I'm at right now. And now I'm finally locking in and tuning in. There's still areas, there's still at least 12 to 13% that I can give more, but it's like crazy, like how much you can get done, even not fully committing. It's crazy. So then it leads me to believe like, okay, well, if I'm not fully committing, then what are my competitors doing, right? Are they fully committing, you know? But anyway, I find that to be very interesting.
You see all the room for growth. And like,
oh my goodness.
But honestly,
and the lack of experience. It's like, bro, at 38, I'm gonna have so much experience. I already feel like so good with the 6 years of experience. Imagine I have 16 years of experience. It's like crazy.
And I get chills thinking about it because, like, me and my one friend, we talked about it, like, just from a business standpoint. It's like, the bar is set so low. Like, we were like kind of like looking around, trying to like hire someone to help us with something, and you know, we just kind of got like not shortchanged, but like just kind of not screwed over, but just didn't work out. We'll just say in a nice way, 2 times. And then we're like, we'll just do it ourselves. Yeah. And now we're doing it ourselves. I'm like, it wasn't that hard. Yeah. Like, why? But it's what my perspective is. People just lack the discipline and consistency that even when they're supposed to specialize in something, they suck. Can't. It's just the bar is so low, and that's why like I think it's such an exciting time in my viewpoint for any men out there, like young men, whatever. If like you're like doom and gloom, it's like the bar set so low. It's so low.
And if you actually care and you apply yourself, you're going to be distinguished among your contemporaries because like. Your knowledge, your ability, the way you go about things are just going to be so excellent.
And it's you're going to be
in whatever you do.
Anything.
Plumbing, HVAC, electricity. It doesn't even matter. The bar is so low. People don't have good time management. They don't have good follow-up skills. They don't have good social skills. They don't have good visionary skills. Oh, wow, this year I worked with 70 people. The 70 people I did, this type of work was good. I realized that an area of improvement is this. Next year, I want to shoot to work with 150. Like that, even as a plumber. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, if you are, like, the bar is you're so right. And I love that. I love that the bar is low.
It's easy. And so, the
light bulb went on with you guys.
Yeah, it's just like.
Even look at what we're doing. How many people, because there's the thing about starting a podcast and then doing it in a convenient time, like Saturdays, Sundays. Dude, we meet during the week in the morning, dude. In the morning. That's sick. That's crazy. 5 a.m. Today, 5:20. I was late. I slept in. I slept in.
But that's the thing, like, it's not like, one of us is like, right now, it's not like, okay, like, yeah, like, we're retired or we have jobs right now where we have totally freedom, like our schedule. Like
we don't.
Like you're married, you have 2 kids, like you're going to an office later. I'm not married, I don't have kids, but I gotta go work probably a 12, 14-hour day. And just like,
and you may be traveling a total of 150 miles. Like,
I bought a new truck on today marks 2 weeks, and I put 1,450 miles in less than 2 weeks.
I bought a truck a month ago, and I have 3,900 miles on it. Because it's like just the movement. Yeah. We're active, dude. We're moving.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing is like,
dude, that's crazy. 1,400 is sick.
You just gotta keep moving. That thing, and the thing is too, it's like, evaluate after maybe after you try something 3 months. Is this working? Maybe it's not, but do something.
100%.
And that was the biggest thing. Like I kind of reached a point where I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Am I spending the right time? And that's not the right question. I think it's like go all in, try it, then reevaluate,
I agree.
and then try something.
Age will teach you. Like that's the thing. We're 28, so we're not most of the time what we're doing. Like it's probably not going to be effective because we just don't have the experience. But 10 years from now, it's going to be so much better.
10 years of trying different things,
and
applying ourselves, and learning new skills.
You're just going to know.
Yeah, the thing is you don't even realize the correlation of going all in on something. It translates to that. You could even foresee what that comes in, but I think it's just go all in on something and try. Especially in your 20s, you can.
Yeah.
And I would tell something I think I heard Alex Hormozi said this, and I think it's so true. It's just for guys, most problems will go away if you get in great physical shape
Yep.
and make a lot of financial money.
100%.
You're still gonna have problems, but for a
A
man,
lot of them go away.
if you do those two things,
Yeah.
most other problems will go
Will
away.
go away, yeah.
And
And
also-
there's so many things that life has put to allow you to do that. Trophies, awards, things. Like, when you said that, I consider, like, the new company I'm in, I'm like, this time next year, I want to be distinguished as one of the top people in the company. And I haven't even gone live yet. Like, I go live, like, September 30th. Like, and I'm already thinking, I'm like, I want to be the best in the league this time next year. I want to be the absolute best in the league. What people are doing in 7 years, I want to do in 18 months. But it's not that I'm confined to that, but that's the type of effort that I want to put in. I want to be excellent. I want to raise the bar so high, and because like I'm here anyway, let's do it. Let's go.
And that's the thing. It's like people don't realize, like, go all in. If you're gonna do it all the way.
Yeah.
That's how I think. It's like if you're gonna do it, then do it, or don't do it at all. Like if you're gonna do it, then go all in. And I think that's the thing. It's like if you're gonna do it, then go all the way. Like just if it's not it, then go all the way. You went all in.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
But people have the audacity to complain about something, process and anything, and they're not all in. It's like, well, the dysfunction you're facing is because you're not all in. You have to be all in. And the fulfillment is in you being all in. And if you're all in, I've been very fortunate that I'm able to compartmentalize. At work, I'm all in, but as soon as I get home, my wife says a little things like, yo, D-Ray, go play with your son. And I'm like, oh, snap, all right, I'm home. I need focus. Like, I'm here with them,
And
so.
that's something that I gotta do a better job at, because I don't have a son,
Kids
I don't have a wife
Kids,
or anything.
it's going to be very hard for you to do it while you're single because there's no incentive. But like with a child, like you know what I mean, like your daughter's running around, like oh no, snap, honey, don't smash your head, and you just like lay down on the ground, just play with her for 30 minutes. All right, it's bedtime. I have to bathe you. Well, when you're bathing her, yes, maybe you could be thinking about your business, but you're probably not trying to get soap in her eyes. So little mundane things like that can actually assist you with grounding.
You're something that needs your full attention.
Exactly.
And I think that's
you understand why kids are so amazing? Because now it's not about you anymore.
It's probably the first. I mean, yeah, you probably love the heck out of your wife, but it's probably the first time like it's a different type of love. From my perspective, I don't know,
100%.
but I heard it's a different type of thing when you have a kid. That it's a different type of love.
It is a different type of love.
But no, yeah, and that's something that like.
Yeah. And you're gonna mess up sometimes. You're definitely gonna zone out, but like it's just hard when your kid can hit you in the face, poke you in the eye, or say "daddy, daddy." Like actually try to call for your attention if you haven't trained them otherwise. Because some parents train their kids to not get their attention with the pads and all that stuff. Do you understand?
Oh, it's like your iPad.
Yeah, or the TV. So you're basically training your child to not have an interaction with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible to train them to not interact with you.
Yeah. Because I think that's the cool thing is I think a kid is like probably at least what like Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about is like you have somebody that wants that like never gonna probably have somebody that like from day one wants to have the best possible relationship with you. Like your kid wants you to have a good relationship with
But
them.
now it's up to you, your parent, to do that.
Yeah.
And my daughter, like she's very blessed to have me as a father because like I actually care. So like I drop her off in the morning now at school. She starts school, and even on her first day of school, I already knew she was different from all her other kids. Because we're walking up the stairs, she's seeing parents, kids, all that stuff. Good morning, like she's greeting everyone, like saying hi, happy. She walks into class, she sees a chair. The first thing she does is pull up the chair, sit down. Another parent's begging their child, siéntate, like Spanish, like sit down. And Shalape is just like obedient. Shalape, you're wandering off. Get over here now. She walks right to me, and parents like, oh my goodness, like the TD didn't have to raise his voice, like, and it's like, well, that's the time that I invested in her, and I know there's still so many things I can do. Because bro, there was times that my daughter would be 2 weeks at my mom's house, like you know what I mean. So it's not even like I was there that present. But again, it shows you the bar is so low, because in her 3 years that she's been alive, like I've delegated a lot of her care to other people, but But yet, even in despite that, we have that.
But it's a care that raised you.
Yeah.
It's not like you're
I know they're good. Like exactly. It's not like I didn't turn out very good. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's also
and my mom's smarter now. She has a master's in behavioral analysis. So it's like she even knows on the academic level like what she did that was really good with us, and she's able to expound upon that. So my daughter, in terms of like care, like she's with a behavioral analyst, like
also a mom that's raised how many?
4 kids. Yeah,
4 kids.
So she has the practical and so my daughter's
beyond
like
behavioral. She raised 4 kids, like that.
But I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's a huge layup.
A doctorate in raising children.
Yeah. But then she also has a master in like how to like allow them to communicate and stuff, which is crazy to doctor the two.
Mm-hmm. And she has, I think most people don't. They have like the degree, but not the real world experience. Like she has 4 years of,
and then 20 years of education,
20 years of real world experience over, and then. But also, I think my perspective too on that is interesting. Is like you think is a bad thing. I actually think it's a strong thing in the sense of it.
Because she's not dependent on me yet. When I dropped her off in class,
you had a chance to recharge and come back this way.
Of course,
it's not
bro. Of course, bro.
Because this is something with the business that
even with the relationship with my wife, but business. You don't have any time because you're never stepping away from it, bro. There's a consultant I'm going to get you in touch with. Where I currently work at, they built out this team where they do pro bono consultation. So the whole idea of it is that you don't pay anything. Like mainly they're looking for people who are not clients there, and like they actually go in and they help you. But the cool thing is that they don't do all the work. They give the business owner homework to do. So I'll connect you like on your off season stuff. Because I heard about it, I was like, dude, that's strange. Because I think the only places doing that other than us like Goldman Sachs. Mm-hmm. So like I was like, dude, that's crazy. Like so you're telling me that you don't have a quota? Like you just go out and you just help people? Like, yeah, like that's literally what we do. So
that's cool.
I was taken aback by that. So I'm definitely gonna have you guinea pig it to make sure that it's true.
I'll try it.
As soon as he tries like to do anything, like yo, AD, he's crazy. I'm like, all right, I'm not referring him to anyone else.
Yeah, no, I'll try anything.
Yeah,
but I think that's like again, you know, your mom, your parents stepped in, help, and that gives you time. You know, either alone time with your shalape,
just to blow steam,
or just like to recharge. This way, the next time you see your daughter, it's
I'm excited.
And also the other point is like, again, it's not in a bad light, but like if you're like you have no help, it's just you and shalape all the time.
Good.
You can't afford a babysitter. It's just nonstop. There's no relief in sight. And I don't want to say it in negative light.
And it makes also like to your point, it comes off to the child like, oh, like I'm a chore.
Burden.
Yeah.
And so that's where my thought process, at least currently with the business, is I have no relief in sight during my season. Like that's my viewpoint, and I feel the weight of that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where like versus like I had like a partner or someone like I fully trusted the business. Like, hey, I'm gonna step away. I need like 2 or 3 days
and
just
you
to
know
recharge.
that person,
and they got it. I don't have to worry about it.
And no matter how big the fire is, they're not gonna bother you. They respect your space.
As good or just as good as me.
Just as good. And then not only that, like when you come back, you'll be
100%.
updated. It'll be under control. Even if there is a big thing, you know they'll be able to handle it.
That's the thing that like I don't think is like spoken enough. That like I think a lot of business owners feel, and like I understand why my father's the way he is.
Yeah.
It's because
he never
had it.
But now he does.
He does.
And you can see his life.
I see it. And like that's why.
And ironically too, speaking about life, ironically, and this sounds savage to say because it's not the truth what I'm about to say, but assume that your solution also is your son.
Yeah. I wouldn't want my son to do this though.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, it's wild, like you know what I mean, like.
I get mad.
That's
I get mad
savage.
at Dad, but I'm like, Dad, I wish you could have another boy or maybe a twin boy or someone to help me.
Do you have any cousins that are resourceful?
No.
15, 17, 18 years old, yeah. No. Yeah. That's what I said, bro. Like, it's savage, but did he groom you for this, do you think, or no?
I think unconsciously he did.
Yeah.
Because
he needed it out.
I had a choice, but I didn't have a choice.
He quite literally he needed it out.
Yeah. I had a choice growing up, but I really didn't have a choice. That makes sense. Like, from just how I am, I didn't have a choice to get into this or not.
And do you know how savage it is? Like, just throwing this out there. You just have kids, right? So you have like 5 kids, right? And those 5, 2 or 3 are boys, right? And you're just like grooming them, and you're just like holding the line for.
I get chills thinking about it.
For 19, 20 years, so that they can, because you don't want, because for one of them it's going to be too much, but for 3 of them it will be bearable.
And
could you imagine holding the line for 20 years, though? That's what your dad did.
He did that.
If you think how sick it is, because in his heart of hearts, he was like, Tom's going to get this thing. Like,
yeah,
Tom's
he just held
But,
it.
like, like, literally going through, because you're only helping for 3 months and then you disappear again. Or 4 months and you're disappearing, going to school and doing all this stuff.
College, yeah, like for those years.
You're just holding the line.
It wasn't until I graduated college that it really, and even then in the beginning, I didn't know.
Yeah, because you went to accounting. You tried to.
This is probably last year he had to step back in and tap in hard because I got sick. So by this not last year, the year prior is the first time he probably really felt like, oh wow. And then last year he was under depression, and it was until I got sick.
Yeah.
And then this year was like, he's like, I think he's kind of, but also I see now like he's aging more than ever.
Yeah, because he's not as active.
Because I think like that drive, like that he had to do it and like stay sharp was
kept him young.
But he's now like, it's almost like in like, 1 year, like not 1 year, but like in 2 years, it seems like he's aged like a decade. Wow. Like it's just crazy. Like,
is he grayer or what?
Just I don't know what it is. It's just like his
thinking,
recall, and like where he's. I'm like, it's just like I'm like, what? Like,
you're getting old, Dad. Yeah.
But it's just like it's in like this. It wasn't. It was like
you're also pretty locked in too, if you think about it.
I'm the most.
How frequently do you talk to him? How frequently do you talk to him? Like once a week, twice a week?
He talk. I mean, not about like real stuff, but like we talk every day. But not about like deep shit. No. But no, so
you can tell every day, like, yo, he's not as sharp, like, you know what I mean? As 3, 4, 5 years ago. What is he, 65?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, but I see it more so. This year really aged him hard because he did the least kind of he's ever probably done in a season, and then the winters were super low key anyway. Like he really just chills out, and that's where I see like my viewpoint on it. It's like not this because it's too much still. Finding like I never want to fully retire. You got to do something to keep this going.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'll never retire.
Because like even if you did sell the business,
retire or expire.
Yeah, even if you did sell the business, you have to do something else. Because what's the good of a man who is not doing anything?
And I know for myself, I'm not progressing. I'm not happy. And I think that's like such a fallacy that they tell us like, okay, work hard for 40 years and then retire at age 60, and then okay, most people can't retire at 60. 1, 2, you start retiring 65, 70, your body really is ready to shut down if you abuse it for 40 years. And then 3 is like when you do retire and you have all this time, you're like, what the heck do I do?
Yeah, I thought because you spent the last 40 years working really hard.
And so you forgo that. Relationships, connections, friendships, because you're just like, you put work above all else.
I've definitely changed my perspective. I don't think I'm ever going to retire. Like, to be honest,
if you build your book of business well enough,
you never have to.
You can just tap in.
I don't think I'm ever going to retire because, like, to your point, if you don't use it, you lose it, and like.
Just think about it. Imagine, okay, you've been only in this industry, what, 6 years?
Yeah.
Imagine AD in this industry
30 years,
years from now.
And I'm going to remember, like, bro, year 2, year 3, I was struggling to have this kind of, like,
now you're probably making a week of making what you make in a year, you probably could make in a week or a month. Like, just on, like, if you continue this trajectory.
Dude.
And like you have people working underneath you, and like you have this, you're
mentoring people. Yeah. I'm now dealing with the second, third generation of my client. Like
your kids could take over your book of business. Like it's cool.
I would definitely pass this on to my kids.
Yeah, like wealth management is a cool one because like when you build that up to a certain point, it is your own business. It's running itself. There is maintenance and like you have to change things, but once that's the thing. It's like it's cool. Like same thing even with the business. Like my business is interesting because it's like different phases, but like once I got to like phase 2 of like actually, staffing, getting through the hiccups like after Memorial Day, weeks in June, like after 4th of July, it kind of was like a self generating thing.
Yeah.
Like, there was you know, oil checks and like maintenance along the way, but the big grunt, like kind of like, you know, send the kid off to school, like they'll figure it out and like they'll come back, oh, like this person bullied me or like something like that. But it's like it's all that preparation getting to school.
Yes.
And then you deal with like the principal calling you on a daily basis. But yeah, it's like building that foundation, and I think people don't understand that. It's like same thing with your physical body, your finances, your mindset. It's like once you build a strong foundation, maintenance is, you have to do the same work. It's also, I talked to my one friend who was a business. It's kind of a mind, like it messes with your mind, because the work I was putting in, like, you know, with like the Leffler pools 5 years ago, the actual like deep work and stuff was probably like 3 to 5 times more than the actual work I'm doing now during the season. Like I was like doing 3 to 4 hours of HR stuff. I was doing like, I was managing a pool too. I was also like, you know, it's just the crazy things you do like in the early stages, and I did that for a while. Versus now, I don't actually do like a lot of like actual work. It's more just like, you know, operations, logistics, damage control, like that type of stuff. But I'm making, you know, 3 times what I made with 3 times less work.
Literally.
And it messes with your mind.
And not only that, it's like you're also able to employ people now. So now if you consider like the people that are delegating those jobs, you're helping their lives. You're paying their, I hate to say you're paying their rent, but you're paying their rent. You're giving them you're feeding their families. You're giving them the opportunity to be homeowners. So it's like you're also creating economic opportunity for people in your efficacy and your journey. So like, as you said that, I kind of had chills, and I'm excited because like right now, because I started over,
You're in the growth phase.
I'm in the growth phase. So like 100% all the stuff I'm doing is on my own, but I'm so excited for when things get complex enough, because what the firm does is they give you a assistant once you've got a certain amount of like complexity, and that's exciting because like when I have that assistant, it's like now I offload a lot and I can focus on even migrating, and that mindset of growing so aggressively. Imagine now someone is helping you manage those, and you're even able to now grow more aggressive. Like, I'm so excited, bro. I'm so excited.
And that's the thing too, I think don't realize, like, it's harder to, you know, build the, like, you know, the domino. But first, the little domino, like, it's like a sparrow. Like, you have like one domino that's like a quarter of an inch, then you have one that's an inch, then you have one that's 3 inches, then you have one that's 6 inches. It's like the beginning doesn't seem like it, but then it just, and then it just like, even, you know, like you see charts all the time, like even with like, you know, investing like, in yourself, like the S&P 500, you know, the first 5 years, like the money you put in, it's like the actual physical money not really going anywhere. And that's like probably like year 12, 15, interest and like the actual investments here. So like this is just compound interest. This is what you're actually putting in there.
And that's the
like,
same thing in life.
Yeah, and I see it with fitness too, because like, you know,
bro, in October it felt like there was nothing. Now it's like, dude, like my body's changing so frequent. Like I'm like, dude, like the rate at which I'm going, I'm like, dude, by this time next year I might not even recognize myself.
Yeah. I look at myself every day in the mirror at the gym, and I'm like, what I used to have to do to have this body that I have right now, or to maintain this. And what I'm doing is like, okay, I work out some days 30 minutes a day, some days an hour.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, I do Sundays, like I walk at least like, you know, 10,000 steps, but
you're not just eating spinach and tuna. Like, cause you were telling me some of your diet sometimes, it was so like,
I would eat some crazy stuff.
Now you're like actually nourished. Like you're eating sweet potatoes, you eat steak.
I've come to the conclusion how many pounds of animal protein I eat a day.
How much?
I eat a minimum of 3 pounds of animal protein a day. More likely 4 pounds of just like between turkey, fish, and steak a day. I'm talking 4 pounds of animal protein.
And a pound of like sweet potatoes.
We're talking on like most days 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of sweet potatoes on my active days.
5 pounds of food.
5 pounds of food. That's also 2 cups of blueberries and probably 3 to 4 oranges. And that's my diet.
Legend, bro.
But like that's a lot of food.
That's a lot of food, bro.
And like I'm like
shredded.
I'm just sitting there. It's just like I've never
shredded.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
and it just like doesn't make sense, but
it makes sense.
It makes sense because like I'm a firm believer of like food quality over food quantity. Like calories do matter. Not gonna say I'm wrong, but I'm more important of like
the quality of the
food quality versus calories. I think that for longevity in dieting, where you don't want to track, I think it's more important.
Yeah.
So like I do eat out more than I ever have, but if I do eat out, it's just like really
there's options.
Yeah, I don't eat fried foods. I don't eat like I keep my fats pretty low actually. I mean my proteins are
If you go to steakhouses alone, you'll be fine.
It's just get baked potato and just get grilled steak. It's that simple. Or most restaurants have grilled steak.
Yeah, they have a lean, non-fried protein.
That's it.
They kind of have to.
Yeah, and then just either don't get a carb or just get baked potato, or I eat fruit when I get home. So if I go out to eat, like I literally, or I went to my buddy got married. My cousin at a wedding Sunday, and I was starving, and so I grabbed, and I knew I would be hungry, so I got my Apollo Fuel, like 2 of those. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you're like, I'm good.
I'm good, but I gotta go. This is a good podcast, though. I might actually, we'll talk about what I think I'm gonna do with this video. But this is good.
Awesome, yeah, dude. Another good day. Another good
Blessed.
podcast.
Yeah,
we're lucky to have this. We're lucky to have this time together, man.
Very blessed.
It's very recentering and